I believe we're gonna do some, budget discussion.
Okay. That's great, Madam Chair.
Thank
So
you.
we just thought we'd take advantage of our quick 30 minutes and try to get a couple of our quicker. No. I'm here in the back for questions if needed. Our more efficient departments taken care of. So we have, first, we have transit. And that is multiple department members within the same Excel sheet, that's right.
Yes.
So you can see from the second page of the summary, we have our estimated revenue and estimated expenditures. So the funding to be provided by county is 10% of the overall budget. So that is one of the most heavily non-county funded departments that we have.
And just one note on the revenue, she is working on some of her contracts. So there's potential some rates may be changing with that.
And the hope is that those changes are good changes. I think that's
They
the
will be
intent.
good
They will be
changes,
good.
yeah.
This is a conservative approach to
We
revenues.
can't go any lower on the revenues than we are, so.
The only thing that they're going to be faced with, and we don't know how long it's going to be, is our increased fuel costs, particularly for this budget. But that's something they are taking into account. Their majority of their expenses are very similar to last year. Let me see. Yeah, I've got here. So they are listed on your summary sheet under multiple, 603, 609, and 625, and 627 are all listed as separate line items. Like I said, they're all in this single Excel sheet. So we do have, if you'll notice under 627, that's the biggest shift because transit vehicle replacement.
But that is 100%, like that will be covered. So she's getting,
Yeah.
she has a revenue line that 100% covers that vehicle replacement.
So that's right. So those are good. We don't really, so with the balance, you don't see a difference in the budget. It is a higher expense, but we do have the revenue to reflect that. Transit operating reserve is very similar. Transit operating 603. Do you mind, Stacy, walking us through the difference? So it's about
Yes.
$68,000.
Yeah, so 603 is their transit operating, so that's where all the drivers and all of her personnel comes out of that. 609 is just the administration side, and the reason they're split up is just the way they have to do their reporting back to the state and to DOT. And so 609 is the administration side of things. So you'll see their total budget is just the 178.42. That was a slight increase from last year, and that was mainly just the raises in the insurance. There was no raises requested or any of that. As far as the transit operating, that one did go up. There was an increase of 68,000. Again, that's trying to take into consideration fuel cost, as well as all of our full-time employees, their benefits that went up significantly.
And this is a department with quite a few full-time employees, so the more employees you have per department, the more the increase in costs is going to be. But no salary increases. She does have 2 current open positions, one full-time, one part-time. So those are taken into account. Hopefully we can get this soon.
And then operating reserve, and basically that is an account or a department that we've created for whenever they sell vehicles, the surplus is required to go back to transit. And so those funds, anytime we sell a bus or one of their Pathfinders or vans, and the surplus from those funds has to go back into her operating reserve. And anytime that she needs additional funds for anything, that's what she digs out of instead of coming to the county.
And the hope is, we don't know where we're going to save yet, but that the vehicle repairs and maintenance, just like a couple of other departments, that we'll see some savings given that we've got kind of a great skill set in that position now that we'll be able to do a lot of those repairs in-house. We're going to be conservative with everything until we see those savings materialize. But the hope is by 6 months of the budget, we can actually expect we're going to be high in that number. But we're doing that on purpose until we have something done. So any questions at all about transit?
No questions? So we'll move on to the next one.
Sure, what do we got next?
I did just the 4-H youth education, and these are kind of, I'm gonna go ahead and pass out to you. I'm gonna do the veterans and the youth education, because we can go through them really quickly. The youth education is the 4-H program. Most of these monies are monies that they have collected, they're in our accounts, and they just have to be available for them to expend. It is only $18,807. And I didn't print the full package just because it was, we don't pay any of their payroll. And there's really no revenue coming in unless they have some type of a fundraiser.
There's, and then the second handout that I'm giving you is where Ms. Kim has applied for the VA grant again. She can do that annually, and they will consider us up to $20,000. So they actually, she's applied and they've already sent $20,000. So like it's, now that we're utilizing it and doing repairs and being able to turn in those detailed accounts for them of what we're doing up there, then they'll just continue to support us in that. So that budget is just $20,000, and it's literally, the money's coming in and it'll go all towards either revamping that building for new flags, those type of things.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a list of everything you use?
Sort, yeah, it's kind of laid out, but it can't be used for certain things, but it has to kind of benefit the entire group of veterans. And we did buy new outfits for like when they participate in the funerals. So we suited them from their hats all the way down to their boots. So we were able to do that. So I'm assuming as those, some come out or some, pass away, and we have to have new ones we can purchase as we go forward, because it does benefit all the veterans for them to do their memorial. Yeah, and they actually do it in our parade, our local parades and stuff like that. So we want them to have their, all their uniforms.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but we're fixing up the building right now, and hopefully if a veteran becomes displaced, they can use the building as a place to spend the night and stay until they are able to get into a motel or to find, a placement for them.
And I want to say thank you, because it's her hard work that has made that happen, so.
If our veterans.
And she sits with them and helps them order everything too. So it is quite the endeavor.
So we've got till August 3rd to expend those funds for this next year, so that'll be something that we'll make sure that we get done very quickly.
If you pay for the work that you're doing on the shower at the building for
Yes, that was a,
that sounds great.
yeah, and I don't know if that's always going to be the case. Given the unique circumstances, they were
Yeah.
willing to cover it. Yeah, I think the scope of what's covered kind of depends on
Yeah.
what's really needed in money at that particular.
Harold had mentioned, like making one of the restroom stalls into a shower facility, so that will be next. This time, they wanted windows and the siding repaired, and I think there was a leak on the roof, but he wanted that fixed this time. So the next time we'll put in, and I can ask for, installation of a shower facility for the veterans, and that will be approved, if they're okay with that.
I don't know if we might have some funding at the shower, but if they were asking,
It's usually, I don't know how it works, since it's not residential,
I don't know either.
but that's what
it's a good thing.
Who's next? Agriculture
The
extension?
next one is the agricultural extension. And this one, I was able to sit down with Randy and Amy Holder and really get some assistance this year. They came down and they were able to provide all of the information as far as their benefits and what the contract with NCSU requires Graham County to do. So just to give you a little bit, if you look at the salaries current page, under the employee title, as far as the county extension director, the agreement with NCSU is that we fund their salary at 48.1%. Nikki Stewart is the extension agent, and we fund her at 50%. And then the administrative assistant, we fund them at 41.4%. So that includes that same portion of their insurance and the same portion of their retirement as well. So their salaries and fringes are all included in that. And then the other expenses are listed out there on the expenditure summary. From time to time, they said that they'll get an annual 3% increase. They have not been notified of that at this time. So this budgeting on the current salaries is with their current information.
So the contracted services is pretty limited, you've got a few releases up here, contractor service contract. So they were, like community fire departments or, other than it looks like they do have one town without their request.
Yeah, and it didn't update on the front sheet. It updated on the proposed salary, but 1,500 can come off of the first sheet, so I need to fix that.
Was the, so it says replace small board and meeting room, did that intend to have it have a seat, I think, was that?
No, there isn't anything there, so I wonder if that was the extra
You
1,500.
may, that may be.
I'll find out on that. The only thing that they were asking for as far as capital outlay is, their kitchen appliances, were aging. They're about 13 years old, and they just anticipated that some of them might need to be repaired or replaced. And so we can always appropriate it at the time that it happens, if you would prefer. I believe their smart board is acting up, and they use it for a lot of their classes and things that they teach. So let me touch base with them. So it looks like the price didn't come in for that smart board. Let me touch base with them on that and make sure that that is definitely a need, but I'm fairly positive it is. Are there any questions about those? Yes, I have one more, please. Soil and water, I did get to meet with the district representative. And that was, it was very helpful, I think, for me, but also for the soil and water staff to understand the way that it is billed, I guess, per se. So soil and water, they have their own accounts as far as bank account, but they utilize like a lot of our benefits. So, of course, their payroll goes through us. They are eligible for our benefit packages, our retirement packages. They utilize our WEX account, which is our fuel cards, and some of our like office supply accounts, like forms and supplies. So those things are kept track of, and then those are repaid back to the county out of the soil and water account. As far as what our responsibility is we have responsibility of half of Billy Corbin's salary. That's what the agreement is. So we pay for half of his salary, and then we do pay for Kathy Schuler, who is his admin. She does work part-time. So that is what is included in there. And they do bring in some funds. They bring in two different sources of funds, which is the cost share for technical assistance, and then their district matching funds. And we do apply for those every year and make sure that they come in.
increase. With small departments who have a little room to cut, that's typically due to the increased medical costs, and just increased costs across the board for some of the bills, utilities, office supplies, dues, things of that nature. And all those are in line with what they're set to spend this year, Stacey.
Yes.
Any questions about soil and water? After that, Madam Chair, I know we have gone through quite a few departments. 27 to date. So just to let you know, our approximate net savings so far has been around $758,000. So we are on our way to achieving our goal and making sure that we are being fiscally responsible with taxpayer money. So
We're still looking at about 1%.
yes, 1.1 needed, and we have a lot of our larger budgets are to come. So we have more savings that aren't captured yet, just because we haven't gone through the recommended. But we're working on getting us there. Any questions at all from the board about where we stand on budget? That's not sure. That's all we got.
Any questions?
Pretty good. Hang in there.
All right, anything else for workshop? If not, can I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. All in favor?
We'll call this Graham County Board of Commissioners regular meeting for March 17th, 2026 to order. Members of the County Board of Commissioners are advised hereby of their duty under the State Government Ethics Act to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of such conflict, and further are instructed to refrain from participating in any matter coming before this Board of County Commissioners with respect to which there is a conflict of interest or appearance of such conflict. And I'll ask Mr. Lynn Cody to lead us in the invocation.
Let's pray. Good day, Heavenly Father, and just thank you for this glorious day that you've given us. And Father, we just ask that you just continue just to give us the knowledge and the understanding that we need. And Father, we ask that you just lead us and just guide us. And Father, most of all, just be with us. And Father, we're just so thankful for the blessings and the gifts that you bestowed upon us. And Father, we just ask that you just continue just to be with those who are sick and ill, and just continue just to touch and heal their bodies. And Father, we're just so thankful for everything that you do. In your precious and holiest name, Jesus Christ I pray. Amen.
We'll ask Commissioner Ward to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I believe we have some changes to the agenda.
Yes, Madam Chair, just a couple of additions. If we can add Logan's Run Rescue under manager's reporting, and our auditor is also going to appear. TD will be with us by Zoom to give us a status update on our audit. And Stephen is also here. He's on site this week doing some DSS and Health Department compliance work. So he's also with us. So welcome, Steve. And that's all the changes I have.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the mentioned changes? All in favor? And do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the workshop and regular meeting 2/17, budget meetings 2/24, 2/26, 3/5, 3/10, and continued meeting 2/20, 2/23, 2/24?
So moved.
All in favor? Okay, and do we have any public comment tonight?
We do, Madam Chair. We have one, Chase Lancaster.
Okay.
second, the turn light off.
Good evening. How's everybody doing today? Today I'm coming with a proposal for the county to try to help raise some money for the county. And I do have some copies I would like to pass out to all of y'all if I may approach. It's 2 pages. Thank you, Chase. This is a formal proposal for Graham County 4th of July rodeo event. I am submitting this to the Graham County Administration. The event title, I would like to call it the Graham County Independence Day Rodeo. The proposed day is the 4th of July weekend, location Graham County, North Carolina. The purpose of the event, this purpose requests approval to host the Graham County Independence Day Rodeo. The event will provide a safe, family-oriented celebration while supporting local agencies and organizations through fundraising. The event overview, the rodeo will future bull riding, ranch bronc riding, and barrel racing. All events will follow appropriate safety standards. A little bit about the community fundraising initiatives. At this event, I would like to have a 50-50 raffle benefiting the Graham County Animal Refuge. I would like to also have a shotgun raffle benefiting the Graham County Sheriff's Department, and also a bicycle raffle benefiting the EMS department to help raise some extra revenue for those departments. And if allowing, I would like to have camping accommodations to where people can bring their tents, campers, RVs, and all the proceeds from that will go to the Graham County Health Department to help with their budget needs. Community participation. The Graham County Public Library, I will allow them to come out and set up for book sales, whatever they want to sell to help support the library, because I know the library does need some help. The county management, which is y'all, I would like to ask for y'all to operate the concession stand with proceeds going to the county general fund. All insurance and liability insurance will be provided by Lancaster Rodeo Productions with Graham County Management listed as co-insured. The economic and community impact, the event will promote tourism, support local services, and provide family-friendly entertainment. Conclusion, approval is respectfully requested to proceed with planning and execution of this community focused. And before y'all make y'all's decision, I would like to say that this event that I want to do is to help the county, help certain departments that needs help, aka Graham County Animal Refuge, the Sheriff's Department, EMS. And if y'all are allowing something I did not put in here, but for the sanitation department, if the Graham County government does the concession stand, instead of selling like bottled water and stuff, having a can, so I can set up separate can, like barrels and stuff to take and recycle the aluminum cans. They turn the aluminum cans over to the sanitation department so they can take and sell it, so they can have a little extra money too. This right here is not, I don't want it to benefit me, I want it to benefit the county. And if y'all have any questions,
So, thank you. I think that's a good idea. I think that what we would probably need to do is have you meet with Thomas Menard. Have you talked to Thomas at all? With Recreation? Just because he's familiar with purchasing the insurance and everything, and just make sure that that's something that we can budget right now. But I think it's great.
I provide the insurance myself. I pay for the insurance for every work I do. I have to carry a $2 million insurance any rodeo organization I do.
Okay. Kim, do you know, I know you guys have done like the insurance policies for the rodeos before. Is that something we would still have to get insurance if it's on our property?
Madam Chair, we do have to be a co-insured.
Have you got plans on where it would be?
Yes, if you look under the insurance on the second page, the insurance will be provided by Lancaster Rodeo Productions with Graham County Management listed as the co-insured. So if anything happens, then I will turn a copy over to the county manager.
How solid would you be on that particular date frame? Simply, I asked that because last year there was a rodeo during the Heritage Festival, and it was kind of chaotic because it makes it really difficult. And with this being anticipated a bigger celebration for the Heritage Festival, we would prefer not to have anything competing with it. The group organizing for that weekend they put a lot of work into it, and I hate to work against them for that particular weekend.
I completely understand, and I forgot all about the Graham County thing that's going on that weekend. But I am open to other dates too, if y'all have any dates that y'all would.
I think that if you could look at other dates where it's not, interfering with other things already planned. And then how about you meet with Thomas, because I know in the past he's kind of spearheaded the rodeos in the past, and basically that would be a part of his recreation plans.
Yes.
And so I feel like he would be able to help you further, and I don't really know that we would have to approve that. We would just approve that it would be held on our property and make sure the insurance is appropriate, but we wouldn't have to actually approve that, would we?
That's correct. I mean, typically Thomas has handled that discussion.
Well, the only thing I need approval for is for it to be like a fundraiser deal to where the money raised from, the raffles and stuff will be able to go to these certain departments.
Do you know how that would work? I don't know if we've ever experienced that as far as how would we allow those to go into our funds, Stacy? Do you know?
That would be something we would just have to sit down and plan that out.
Most likely, we would have to create revenue lines for those donations in each department, and then create expenditure lines, and then give them a deadline, when to spend them by in the budget year or something like that.
Do we have a procedure for like the Hill Fund? Can we always give a donation to like the rest of the line? I was just asking how that is.
We have a procedure, like Senior Center has some donations, so there is a procedure.
So it is possible.
But then, yeah, it is possible. It would just have to be done very carefully because it's if there are different aspects of the radio go into different departments, it would be unique. Because typically it's just, it's not in just the general fund.
We'd have to have real clean accounting with each activity so that we know what proceeds are going where,
Yes.
but we can set that up.
Yeah, and you were speaking of Thomas Bernard, right? Okay, if you remember 4 years ago, I did host a rodeo event here in Graham County. I was the first person in over 20 years to put on a rodeo in Graham County. So I do know all the legal aspects of putting on a rodeo. I've been rodeoing since I was 13 years old, and been producing now for over 4 years.
We sure do appreciate it, but I would talk with Thomas and he'll help you move further, I feel like.
Okay, do you have his contact information?
We can get that.
I can get that to you.
And it's also online. If you search Thomas Bernard, Recreation Director, it'll list his office number and his cell phone number too.
Okay,
Okay?
that'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chase.
Any other public comment?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, we'll turn it over to Stacy Carpenter with the finance reporting.
Did you want to get this?
Yeah, probably. If we could have TD speak, Madam Chair, first. Let's see, so we'll let him off up there.
So, TD Hill, our auditor, will have a presentation for us. I believe he's on Zoom.
You see it okay?
Yeah, you're good. Go back where you want to. Sure.
All right.
the screen?
You are on the screen, Mr. Hill.
Okay.
And let me put my microphone up to my computer speaker, that way you can get this audio.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Okay. That was not Stacy's fault for all that. That's me. I'm technology challenged, and so that probably came through the system there. So apologies for that. Okay. I just want to give you a quick update. The audit for 2024 is trending well. I do want to compliment Stacy and her team. We've got everything from them. We're doing trending well. We should have financials, or we will have financials by the end of the month, of this month, hopefully maybe a little sooner. Actually, I was talking to the team that's actually working on those financials, and they're going well. And we plan on filing by April 15th, so in about 1 month we'll be filing with the LGC is our current plan. I do want to call out, actually Steve is in the room as well. If we've got any detailed questions after the meeting, he will hang around and answer any of those. But again, audit's trending well, and then right after we file 2024, you are our focus, and we'll dive right into 2025 and get that audit finished up as well. Are there any questions?
So I do know that it took a little bit longer than expected, this go around.
Yes. That's part of that is on a little bit of that's on weather, but most of that is on us. We were a couple of weeks behind, and we pushed back, and we got pushed back for some from some other issues, but that was on us. It had nothing to do with you or with Stacy or her team. That was currently on us.
Okay,
But
good.
those issues are now in the past. You are our focus, and we'll be focused on you until we get you caught up.
Okay, thank you so much. That's all we want. We need to be caught up so we can move forward. So thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am, we are in line.
So, what is your, of course, best case scenario? What are you thinking as far as getting us caught up? I know you said you're going to proceed right into 2025, but then of course, 2026 will be right behind that. But you feel like we'll be caught up after this year?
I think so. There's a lot of variables in there, but it is certainly, I think that is certainly possible. But I think the way things are trending, I think that is definitely, I think we are trending well towards that goal, yes.
Okay, thank you. Does any other board members have a question?
Just so do you anticipate when a draft will come out?
Yeah, the draft of financial statements, as I said, it's going to be at the end of this month, end of March. We're going to try maybe get those a little sooner to you. We'll get a good solid draft by the end of the month. And again, file the LGC by the middle of April.
Okay. Because I want to review it. I'm sorry.
And again, Steve is there if you need to. He's got the boots on the ground and has been managing the day-to-day operations on the audit. He can answer any questions.
You guys have any other questions?
Do they anticipate any findings or anything, or they have any findings that you know of?
Currently, right now, there's nothing that we found in terms of compliance findings. We're still wrapping up some of our testing for that, but as of right now, there hasn't been anything.
Okay. Compared to the findings from last year, so they've all been corrected in the.
I believe we'll still have one probably for just the timeliness of getting the audit issued. But as far as anything else that we have, that is the only thing I can think of right now that we would still have as a continued findings from the prior year.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else? Any questions? Thank you, TV.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Stacy. Bye.
earlier, this is the North Carolina DMVA grant program. This is the Veterans Program. So that revenue was received, and so we also need to make it available for expenditure. So that would be amendment number 18 in the amount of $20,000. Then amendment number 19, and the reason for this one being an amendment is because we're moving it from one department to another. So we're moving governing body office supplies in the amount of $413 down to building inspections, contracted services. And this is for, these were additional funds needed to pay Tony Elders for some of the additional work that he had completed this year. And then, so that would be number 19 in the amount of $413. Then amendment number 20, this is, we were moving funds from the governing body contingency fund into the governing body urgent care. So, because this is moving up the contingency fund, again, bringing this to your attention, and that would be in the amount of $37,362, and that is amendment number 20. And then amendment number 21 would be reallocating money from the jail retirement down to the jail medical, and this is to take care of medical expenses for the inmates. And again, because we're taking it out of salaries or fringes, bringing it to your attention, and it is in the amount of $16,300. And that will take care of our current medical expenses. And then I had to, you have one other amendment that I had to add in last minute, I'm sorry. And it's not on this form, but you have a copy of it on the desk. And it's amendment number 22. And this is for information technology. And it's only being brought to your attention because of the amount is over $20,000, which is the budget officer's amount that he can approve. So we're moving $64,000 from IT software updates down to IT contracted services. This was just probably not budgeted correctly, and we've kind of cleaned up the classification so that next year it'll be a little bit more clear. All the contracted services will actually be in contracted services instead of split. So he does have these funds available as training flow, so we just need to move those funds to the contracted services line, and this will get us for the rest of the year. And that's amendment 22 in the amount of $64,000.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve budget amendments number 18 through 22?
Second.
All in favor?
All right, the next thing is, I've got a copy here of our revenue totals. And so you have a copy of our revenue statement for this period that ended on 2/28/26. And so our revenues collected to date. My apologies, I lost myself. Yes, I'm sorry. Our revenues collected today is $16,701,601.09. This same period of the prior fiscal year, we had collected $16,476,452.77. So that's a variance of $225,148.32. So we have drawn a little bit over where we were the same period last year. As far as the expenditures are concerned, year to date, our expenditures are $13,882,044.66. The prior year, same period, our expenses were at $14,803,986.36. So that's a variance of $921,941.70. And this is kudos to all of our departments that have worked really hard to cut back on costs.
And I was going to echo that, so thank you. I was going to give kudos because they've done a great job at sticking to their budgets, and through a hiring freeze and the spending freeze, they are coming in much lower this year, and it's going to help us into next year's budget and help us trend in the right direction long term.
Yeah, we appreciate the staff. Thank you, everybody.
And right underneath the amendments, I skipped this part. This is where I got lost. I apologize. It's just showing you our original budget was $23,724,909. We've had adjustments in the amount of $473,272.83 through all of the amendments to date. So our new budget is $24,100,000. $198,181.83. You have a copy of both the revenue statements and the expenditure statements in your packet for you to do that if you'd like to review those. But as far as our budget to actual, our revenues do exceed our expenditures by $2,819,556.43. This same period of last year, we were at $1,672,466.41. So we are actually trending higher. In an amount of $1,147,090.02. The next section is our tax collections. And you have a copy of the Real Ops report and the collections monthly reports in your packet. Our current year collections that were collected in the month of February were $420,251.15. And the prior year, same period, we collected $255,401.41. Of prior year collections, these were outside of the current tax year. In February, they collected $17,098.30, and the same period in the prior year was $15,533.85. So our total collected this month was $437,349.45, which brings our year-to-date total to $8,890,286.15. With our current collection rate being 93.27, this same period last year, our collection rate was at 93.3. So we're trending right in the same line as last year. Also in your packet, you have a copy of our VTS collections. So for this month of February, we had collections of $56,988.01, which brings our year-to-date total to $489,801.05. And the prior year, same period, we collected $58,913.78. Moving on to our sales tax collections this month, these are actually the collections for January 2026 that were just received. So they were received in the amount of $318,653.37. Our total sales tax collections to date is $2,301,449.65. So in prior year, same period, trended a little bit lower than what we are currently at $304,296.15. So you have a copy of that report in your packet as well. And then the school, we set aside a portion for them. It's their sales tax appropriation per the statute. So this month, their set aside portion was $61,480.99. And that brings their total year to date to $467,895.31. This prior year, same period, was $62,604.74. In addition, we have the quarter-cent sales tax that is set aside for our public safety. And this month, again, this was for the month of January, the portion that we set aside was $27,147. You also have a copy of that report in your packet for your review. So since inception, we've collected $1,936,725.16. In this same period last year, their percentage, or the quarter-cent sales tax percentage, was $23,945.52. The only other notes I have is our LGC update. Our next check-in with our coach, Tim Green, is March 31st. And we just had our audit update. So DSS, they are here and conducting their DSS site work this week, and they expect to file with the LGC by mid-April. That is all I have for you, unless you have questions.
Do you have any questions for Stacy? Okay, so we'll turn it over to Manager Cody for the...
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I forget, again, Mr. Lancaster passed me to just ask the back for you all that he spoke with Thomas, and they're going to have a meeting tomorrow to discuss the revenue. So we'll get an update after that meeting and kind of see where things are planning in the future.
Before I leave, when I get the dates and stuff and get everything set up with, Mr. Thomas, do you want me to just drop them off at your office?
Yeah, and it's just let me know whenever y'all have anything settled, and we can, probably set something up, all three of us then.
Okay, that sounds good. Appreciate it.
So Madam Chair, the first item is a Justice Center update. So I was able to speak with our architect Mosley and Withers Radwell, our engineer, last week just to get a status update on where things are. They've been working behind the scenes with the planning and design stage, but given it had been a little while since we heard from them, wanted to touch base. I reinforced kind of the board's belief that the first item that needs to happen is Justice Center. And then the other two items kind of within that scope, a jail and a sheriff's office or sheriff's department are kind of a second phase of the two-phase plan. Also reiterated with the team that this design needs to be quality but also budget friendly, because it's something that we want to make sure it can be constructed quickly, efficiently, something that people in Graham County can be proud of, but also not something that is going to break the bank for the taxpayer while we do that as well. So it was a great conversation. They're actually, so the initial contract that was sent was a full-scale design of all three phases. So what they're going to do is they're going to retool that contract. The good news with that is that means lower fee for the design, because we're going to take it as a phase one, phase two. We're going to obviously make sure that there's enough adequate space for all of what is going to be constructed, but their primary focus is going to be getting this Justice Center design and off the ground as quickly as possible, because I know that's what the community wants as well. And it's been a project long in the making. So really the only barrier right now is that the baseball field is going to be used as a field for the season. But once that finishes up in May, and designs are complete, which I'm hopeful we can start that design review process soon. We'll have Mosley plans to be on site. I've heard that they may bring some bells and whistles with them, like some virtual reality goggles or something, so that might be neat whenever they have designs finalized, but we should be able to move very quickly at that. So any questions?
Here, so thank you for doing that. We appreciate that. And we were just concerned in, years past and months past that maybe things weren't being communicated clearly as far as what the board's wishes were, and I believe that was true. So we appreciate you for communicating that for the board.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next item, just an action item, just need releases, to approve releases in the amount of $1,918.75 and discoveries in the amount of $5,382.
Second.
All in favor?
Next item, you have in front of you a bid for the 2019 Ford van that was surplus. That's the van with the blown motor. So we just need to accept that bid if it is the board's right.
Okay, so it looks like we have a bid of $300 from A.B. Adams.
And this was posted, this was twice, there was a deadline, no bids were received. This is under the amount set by the board, but it's the board's prerogative if they want to accept the bid. But with the blown motor, it limits its marketability. I believe that it was $600. Was it $600? Or $500 was the board minimum.
That was the bid.
That was posted.
$300.
We had 705, but it's
What was the bid?
300.
Three. Well, it's not getting worth any more sitting there, so you need a motion.
And you almost spend more reposting it again and again.
I make the motion that we accept the bid.
I'll second. All in favor?
Fourth item is, there's been a request to appoint Jessica Ayers and Elizabeth Hooper to the AAA Advisory Council.
I'll make a motion to appoint Jessica Ayers and Elizabeth Hooper to the AAA advisory.
Second.
All in favor?
Next, this is a request every year, the Beaver Management, if we want to enroll in that program, it's a $6,000 fee. Typically, the board has elected not to do so, but it's a question we bring before you every year.
I'll do
We need a motion to deny.
that. I'll make a motion to deny.
I'll second it, and it
All in favor?
always gives us one time of the year to smile.
Next item, just to remind everyone that Good Friday holiday is April 3rd. It's now school day, I think, but the county will be closed. Item G, you have in front of you a proposed revision to the NRL interlocal agreement. That's the Nantahala Regional Library interlocal agreement. There is one that was in existence and was signed back in September of '22. This is identical to that agreement. The only change is we've had a town opt out, so the town of Lake Santeela has requested that they are not going to fund the library anymore. They sent in a notice that they're going to fund through the Friends of the Library instead. But by doing so, they have to be removed from the agreement of participation. So the only thing that's changed from the September 22 version is just removal of the town of Lake Santeela from a government involved for a participating member. But otherwise, it's identical. And so we just need a motion if it's the board's prerogative to approve.
Okay, so the town of Robbinsville is going to participate?
They have not opted out at this time.
Because I know they withdraw their funding.
That hasn't been communicated through Mr. Shook or to me, that they may have not notified the NRL or the Nantahala Regional Library.
Because they withdraw their funding
Yeah,
last year. So that's one of the things I didn't know. If Franklin had, stressed, because I had asked him to speak to the town, and so I didn't know whether or not he did or not. So that was the reason I was just asking if the town was still going to participate
That's something I can certainly
in the
follow up
funding
on.
exercise.
And I remember you and I had met with him, and that
Yeah.
was the discussion. And so, I feel like this board, is going to approve this agreement, but we would like to know if the town of Robbinsville is participating.
Yeah, and that's something that, and it would be beneficial for the town to continue participating, because as you'll see through budget meetings, the request is going to be higher this year, because state funding is starting to dry up for the regional side. That a lot of that is being passed on down to localities. So the more government bodies can participate.
I know, I read the email, but, the regions are notified in November what their allocations is going to be. And, usually it's about the same, or it stays about the same. So, my understanding is it may increase a little bit this year from working with another region, so.
But that's something we're doing due diligence behind the scenes.
Is
with the other
that's
counties.
something you can actually request from him, a copy of the letter from I was trying to think what her name is that sends out the letter each year, that allocation, and the allocations actually start in the month of January when that's going to be done, and then they'll backdate it like 2 months, and they'll give you a lump sum for that. But they notify you in November what your new allocations is going to be, and it doesn't start actually until January 1.
I'm sure if you prefer to table until we can find out more information from the town.
I think we need to table it, just to clarify if the town's going to be participating in it. That way, we can make sure, all the signatures are going to be agreeable.
I agree.
reached out to the counties of Clay and Cherokee as well as the participants in this to find out what their participation is in this as well. And we'll be more informed by the time we have that meeting with our special appropriations for the budget discussions.
So, I'll make a motion to table the discussion about the NIL at this time. Give me a second. All in favor?
Next, we have a request to release the sanitation bill. So the person whose name this bill is in is deceased. So there's been a request to release that particular bill. It's in the amount of $170.
All in favor?
Next item, the request to surplus a Transit 2019 Dodge minivan, VIN number 1315. I think the proposed minimum bid is $600.
I'll make a motion to surplus the Transit 2019 Dodge minivan. All in favor?
Next item is request to surplus 2004 Ford Ranger VIN ending in 2160. Mileage is 129,604 miles.
I think this is one that came out of recreation.
On recreation.
You get the minimum,
So then it can be set at the minimum that the board so chooses if you, or if we can.
Scrap would bring us 300 at least, so I would go above that.
All in favor?
Last item, I had a nonprofit out of Cherokee County reach out. It's Logan's Run Rescue with a proposal to participate in a spay and neuter program. I was not aware that this source of funding existed and this type of program existed. But what they do is they need, so the counties are eligible to receive state funds through, it's called SNAP is the acronym, but it's Spay and Neuter Assistance Program. And it's funded by vehicle tags. They must be, one of the license plates is a source of funding for this program. It's a affordable spay and neuter, but there are some participation requirements and some funding requirements that these veterinary offices or nonprofits have to go through. And what they have to have is a partner, a county partner, because the funding flows through the county, and the county is the intermediary that then pays. So the way they do it, they perform, so they do all the intake, they perform all the procedures, maybe with Graham County residents, but they also are authorized in Clay County and Cherokee County. But our participation would be limited to Graham County residents. They take the risk, so they make sure all the paperwork's done. They bear the burden, so they essentially pay for everything, and they get reimbursed through this program. So essentially, if they don't get reimbursed, if something's wrong, somebody's ineligible, something like that, that's on them. But they just need essentially the county to act as that intermediary to file the report on their behalf that they provide us. A pass through, essentially. So no, the only funds that will pass through are the actual reimbursement costs. What I would like the board's permission to do, if it's of interest, is start exploring and kind of come back with something formal next meeting to adopt. I'd like to just do our due diligence to verify with the Cherokee and Clay County managers that the program is going well. And this is something that really our only obligation, it looks like, is we have to notify local vet offices that it's available. So we'll have to send out I guess probably a yearly letter, just say, hey, we do have a program participating. If you want to participate, we don't pick and choose anybody who can do it and can essentially file it through the county.
That'd be good.
But it sounds like a good program, and it will be ongoing. So they do this year in, year out.
So there would be potential for these people to have services in county without having to take their animals to Murphy, like where the Wellness is based out of.
I think as of now, it would have to require transport, but that's something we can certainly work on in the future. I think they're just trying to get their feet wet right now but I think that would be the hope, or that would be my goal, would be for that to transition here. It does have an income requirement as well, so it wouldn't be open to everyone. So to get Medicaid eligibility threshold is what.
Table any action until you get more information.
Yes, I just want to bring it to the board's attention, see if there's interest in pursuing this farther, before I reach out and start verifying and contacting.
I think it's worth looking into
Yeah.
as long as it's their willing to make sure that, you know, if we're gonna have to go through that and Stacy will have to paperwork, I'm sure that's gonna be worth our while.
And they prepare every bit of paperwork, very similar to kind of Josh Carpenter's function with economic development. They prepare, they submit, but they do everything except for sign and submit. It's kind of their, and I just want to make sure with the other counties that that model is working for them. But if it does, it sounds like a fantastic program, and it's nice that there's a source of funding that can provide these needed services.
So I think that I could give you the directive to go ahead and talk with other counties and see how that's working out for them.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Unless there are any questions, that's everything I have for tonight.
Any questions? No? Okay, do I have a motion to go into closed session under G.S. 143-318-11A-1356 for privilege for confidential information, attorney-client privilege, personnel, and contracts? All in favor? Okay.